Hey there, kids, guys, gals, now my neighbor pals, and other sort of creatures of the night. It's Bad Doc Boone here with another episode of Bad Doc Boone's Sonic Cellar. Anyway, it's New Year's Day 2026 as I do this. I was hoping to have this up last night, but, we're going to do 5 or 6 albums from 2025 that I think you should check out if you haven't already. Anyway, I'm trying to keep this under a certain length here, so I'm going to leave some of the rambling out of the way, but we'll start. I'm going to try to keep this generally within the time they came out. So, anyway, our first one is by a band called Redshift. The album's called Chaos is Planned. It's on Alternative Tentacles. Anyway, this is a blend of punk rock with elements of surf music, a little hint of soul and jazz here and there. And it's tight, it's aggressive, and the songs are social commentaries on the chaos around us. I mean, this is not, like the typical safe pop punk that, people want to sell to us at. It's tight, it's energetic, and it's one of those records that songs like The Last Gold Rush, it's just something you want to listen to and kind of grab, and it takes you to another place altogether. Anyway, it's good to see a band that isn't just doing straight ahead, hardcore, straight ahead pop punk, though there's nothing wrong with either one of those genres when they're done right. Anyway, our next album, we're going to the other side of the world, a land called by the indigenous people, the Maori, as Aotearoa, as many people call it, New Zealand. The album is called Te Ra. The band's called Alien Weaponry, and the album's out on Napalm. Before we go further into this, I'm going to apologize in case I mangle a couple song titles horribly. Please forgive me, they didn't teach the Maori language in American schools. Anyway, Alien Weaponry's third album is more of the groove metal that the band's become known for over the past 15 years they were together, since forming as small children. I mean, literally, Neil and Henry DeJong were 8 and 10 when they started. So, anyway, this is full of tight, chugging grooves, enough gut punch heaviness, with songs going from talking about Maori legends as well as some of the struggles that their people have faced due to colonialism, and songs like Maumoko, which looks at that, as well as Tanifa, which looks at the mythical creature I think it's a mythical creature, it might be a legend, but the monster lives at the bottom of the lakes and stuff. Tanifa actually has a guest appearance by Brandy Blythe from Lamb of God. So, from songs like that to English language songs such as Thousand Friends about social media alienation, and Black in the Sky, which is about the Ukraine war, as well as songs about, taking responsibility for a failed relationship, and more. I mean, it's a pretty wide-ranging release, but it's fairly brief. It's about 40 minutes long, give or take a minute or two. Or as called when I was growing up, a typical album length. But anyway, Alien Weaponry, Te Ra, if you get a chance to check them out, this is a band that really, in a perfect world, would be played semi-regularly on the rock station. But, the rock station, contrary to what they like to claim, doesn't always play everything that rocks. Anyway, the third album we're going to go to is Stockholm Syndrome by Fishbone. Anyway, it's a little bit... Fishbone's music has long been a blend of ska, funk, punk, and metal, depending on the song. And this album continues with that tradition. George Clinton and P-Funk make an appearance on Last Call in America. But you also have songs like catchy little ska bangers like Racist Piece of Shit, as well as a ballad called Love is Love. It's generally like a commentary on the world around us. I mean, obviously, with the title like Stockholm Syndrome, which is widely considered to be the idea of where people start identifying with their oppressors. It's a commentary on life in modern-day America. Lately, Fishbone, being honest with who they are, has gotten them a lot of grief from idiots who weren't paying attention to lyrics, saying, "Why do you have to bring politics into it?" People who never paid attention to the subtext and say Party at Ground Zero or or any of the songs like Ghetto Soundwave, for example, or Fight the Youth. But, you're going to get stupid people. But anyway, Fishbone, Stockholm Syndrome, Consigliere Records. I'm not sure whether it's the band's label or that, but, it's well worth checking out if you want to hear something that has some element of funkiness and some ska that hasn't been whitewashed these days. Our next release is the reissue of the bunch. It's called Nightmare Queens. It's by a group called The Darts on Adrenaline Fix Records. And by this time, I probably should mention to you that there are a number of bands called The Darts, including at least one other band from New Zealand, spelled Darts D-A-R-T-Z, or spell it D-A-R-T-Z, that we'll be talking about some other point down the road. So for the remainder of this interview, we're going to refer to this Darts by their alternate name, The Darts US. Anyway, on Nightmare Queens, Darts US have done something a little different. They've taken some tracks from some of their past catalog of singles. Previous couple albums are no longer available on vinyl. And made a best of, at least according to the band compilation, featuring some of the various band members that have gone through over the years. There's a ton of fuzz tone and some tasty Farfisa organ. Actual Farfisa. This isn't some virtual organ here. But driving songs that can go from about love, life, loss. If you like old school garage rock that's influenced by 60s, The Darts US and Nightmare Queens is one of those things you really need to check out. I mean, it's a banger. Anyway, our fifth and final album, we're going to do one that is... No, actually, we're going to add one more to the list. This one came out probably around the same time Nightmare Queens did, but I didn't get to hear it until a couple months later. The first album in 8 years from Propagandhi, At Peace on Epitaph. Anyway, the band's hybrid of hardcore and metal has been further harnessed, but takes a little more of an introspective, somber term as they approach topics such as, increasing authoritarianism, not right fascism, climate collapse, as well as some personal attack is on, growing older and trying to find the balance between, youthful idealism and accepting reality, but moving on anyway. Anyway, it's, especially on the title track, that features near the end an interpretation of a couple lines from the songs Lovers in Dangerous Time by singer-songwriter Bruce Cockburn. It was an unexpected twist to hear that, but it's something that's worth checking out. Anyway, if you like metal that's a bit intense and comes from more of a punk standpoint, then Propagandhi, the latest one, would be one you should check out. Anyway, which leads us to our most recent one that came out at the end of October, maybe very beginning in November. This is our import, and it's something I've been listening to since I got a hold of it on close to a daily basis. Dream, Believe, Achieve by Dick Move. Is Dick Mover from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and there's a release between 112 Records and the legendary New Zealand label Flying Nun. Dick Move this time around unleashed more of their high energy, catchy as hell punk rock bangers, with songs taking on topics such as misogyny, men, overly entitled men, buses, nursing, inequality, sort of thing, all with a ton of great hooks and enough power to light up at least the North Island, if not all of New Zealand. Anyway, from the opener Fuck It to the closing tracks, this is a winner all the way around. Also included is a song called Kuranga a Hapi, an ode to Auckland's legendary Kuranga Hapi Road, which is a legendary street known for having a diverse population that hangs out there, and often having rainbow flag crosswalks, at least when they're not being vandalized by a certain asshole megachurch there. Don't want to knock religion, but, some people who really should find something better to do with their time than attacking gay pride and trans pride. But sadly, idiots exist in every country. But anyway, this is some powerful stuff. There's elements of surf music at a couple points. But, the hooks are tight. It's powerful songs, and it's one of those things from whether you're listening to Starter Fuck It or Shut Your Mouth or, even a track like Nurses or Kranga Hoppy. I mean, it's one of the things, commentary on the culture there, and one that has a lot of parallels to what we're going through here, especially with stuff like inequality and misogyny. Anyway, that's about it for now. Anyway, I just want to say, once again, if you like what you're seeing and like what you're hearing, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, so we'll let you know when more stuff comes up here. This is Bad Doc Boone here. Hope you had a good New Year, and hope 2025 treats you well. Talk to you